Hey guys, today with the topic, post-separation, depression. This was and is a point that is always so dismissed by others and that you will see in the future perhaps as a turning point but will no longer feel it as strongly as now. Fortunately, it has to be said, and I too have been a bit light on the subject so far, perhaps not always telling you exactly what to do to get out of it. Maybe my breakup was just too long ago. I repress it or subconsciously didn't want to talk about it either. I have no idea. But so far I've noticed, my videos start with the moment of the breakup and then I jump right to what to do, to the no contact and how you should start them. But the in-between is not unimportant either. Either you're doing okay and you're not falling too far. A few days of separation pain are normal, but then you have to function again according to society, and for some this works out very well. Or you are completely at the end and have no idea how to get out of it. No perspective, no hope, and the whole thing for weeks. You're not hungry, you're not thirsty, you have no strength, and you're constantly thinking about your ex and the good times you had with her. This is so quickly waved away by others. They know exactly that they are powerless and that it is up to you to change something. But that's not what you have to say right now. Somewhere you know it yourselves, but you can't imagine to do anything at all sometime again. And that can happen to anyone. I had some relationships in my life. Maybe not always the longest, but in my opinion, it was always right at that moment. And never has a breakup pulled me down as much as the last one. I didn't know that. That's probably one of the worst things about it. You really think that was the one. Someone who can trigger something like that in you, that can't be it, and now she's gone forever. That's when the self-doubt starts. What do you have to blame yourself for? I skip here the point where you have contact with her and begs, pleads, negotiates. I have already made enough videos about that. Here it should be only about you. With all these actions you are going into an endless downward spiral. You continue to degrade and lose the will to be awake. Your dreams and fantasies are so much more beautiful. You can't and don't want to get up anymore. You let everything slide that gave you support in your life. And the worst thing about it, everybody you want to talk to about it, while you are crying unrestrainedly, you see that they can't help you, and after a certain time they don't want to talk about it anymore. Normally I would tell you now, put yourself in their shoes, but it doesn't matter for now. Others don't care at all. Every one of you who feels this way has to go through this process. At the end of the day, it's just up to you to be able to stand up again. To start with no contact and the decision to accept reality and to move on for yourselves. That's also where your suffering ends piece by piece. When I have told you in other videos to take your time and do it at your pace, I don't mean months. But do it systematically. What is the most important thing first? Eating and drinking. If you can't do it on the first day, that's fine with me. But don't do it like me. I managed to lose 10 kilograms in 1 week. And all of you who are now coming with, oh, how nice, would like to do that too. And no, you wouldn't. Muscle and water. This will make you quite a wreck physically and drive-wise. Even if you think you can't, put a bottle of water next to you and eat 3 times a day. That's a basic rule, it's not up for discussion. Otherwise, even if you've developed the will to do something, you'll end up taking longer out there than you need to. When that's covered, you have to process. I myself have used ways that I used to think were completely ridiculous. Pro and con lists, talking to myself, typing out my entire childhood as if it were a biography and analyzing myself a bit and what all that entailed. I have written with friends. Of course they were annoyed by it, but it wasn't that they had good advice, it was that I talked to someone about it. Psychologists basically do nothing else. In my eyes, it's more important that you talk about it than who you talk to about it. Of course, not with the ex or anyone who has to do with her. It should be someone who has your best interests at heart. Either way, you need to process this, and the conclusion that you alone are to blame for all of this may come to you. But I can tell you this as a general rule. In a relationship that is not working, there is never just one person to blame. As I said, write it down and talk it out. Go through memories and photos. Sometimes we have to give ourselves the full blast to let it go in the future, but really set a limit for the full blast. And try to keep your contact with the ex to a minimum. Example, pictures and old chats. Pull those up on your PC. If you do it on your cell phone, typing a message is much more obvious and seems more logical at that moment. It is best to establish such small things as early as possible. As I said, it's about you. And if you ever hope to have something with her again, she will know as little as possible about your misery. And it is a misery. I want her to remember you as you were in the relationship in the good times, not as you are now. It's not about not showing her that way because you're using a tactic or playing her strong man. How you are right now is not how you will be in the future. This is a phase right now. You may never have been like this before. But if you show that in front of her, she will have that memory in her mind and it will be the last one she has of you. So don't do it, don't contact her from your side. And if she does get back to you, hopefully you're already working on yourself. So where was I? Eat, drink, find a way to process, and then day by day take on one little thing that will move you forward. You do this right away and you may not get there at first, but that's the only way you establish your little feelings of success and they will grow exponentially as you realize you can achieve them. Until such a time as a really bad mourning period, I don't give you a time limit. There is no black and white and you will continue to feel that way at moments when you connect something to her. However, that part of you will get smaller and smaller as you slowly realize that it's not just the standing up itself that's up to you, but even whether she really sticks to her guns. You can change that and you are the only one responsible for her changing her mind about you. How you do that, I show you among other things here on the channel. The sooner the realization comes to you, the better. For me it came after about a month. In that time, hardly anything changed for me. It didn't get better because the perspective wasn't there. And the perspective I give you, that basically everyone has the chance with his ex, if he only recognizes it and behaves correctly. Becoming open and honest with someone he wants to be. That will get you to the point where you might even turn to bigger goals than getting her back. Well, not just maybe. But shortly after the breakup, if you're like me and you're stuck in a never-ending depression for more than a week, where there's only the one for you, then the realization can make you rethink, like it did me back then. And that is the moment when you make the first important step. With the no contact still far away but as the first goal, which you can reach. So stay strong, take care and see you in the next video.